All right. Welcome to Chef Charlie's Kitchen, and it is not Sunday. I hold in my hand an overripe banana. I had some overripe bananas, and y'all know how I am. I don't really like wasting nothing, so I decided to make a banana bread. I'm gonna tweak it. You know how I do. Not really following the rules. Now this is a baked recipe, so I have to follow like the main rules, but I'm always trying to find some way to add my own little kick to it. So this is going to be a banana nut bread, a banana nut cranberry bread using whole wheat flour. Speaking of whole wheat flour, I gotta get my whole wheat flour. I gotta get it's over here back behind my thing. Oh look. Okay, cool. See, I was like, I could get the flour without disturbing my camera, which I didn't disturb the camera, but I did disturb my other phone that has my recipe pulled up on it. So I'm following the recipe, but I'm using the recipe as a basis of this because the recipe doesn't include cranberries, but I'm gonna add cranberries. Just one of the changes that I will make to this recipe. Let me stand it back up right there. So I got my whole wheat flour in there. Okay, so I messed around and just bought too many bananas, and I wasn't able to eat them all. I realized that I guess I don't like bananas as much as I thought I did. Coop is visiting with his dad right now, and I was buying a lot of bananas because Coop likes bananas. So when I went to the store, I bought the same amount of bananas, and I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to eat all these bananas, because I also got like a lot of other stuff like pineapple, strawberries, and all this other stuff that I really enjoy. So the bananas kind of, they got forgotten about. So I'm going to use these last 3 overripe bananas to make banana nut bread. All right. So let's start by peeling these. See what they look like. Oh yeah, they're definitely overripe. So I could have peeled these before I started the video, but I kind of wanted to see what they look like. I wanted you guys to see what it looked like when I peel it. It smells super banana-y. How do you say banana-y? So, there it is. There it is. And put it inside of my bowl. Okay. So, I like banana bread and I do like bananas, but I like, again, I don't know. I guess these bananas just got away from me. So I had put them in the fridge after I saw that they were going bad. And so it kind of held, putting it in the refrigerator made it hold its shape. But so I got my phone set up to where as long as I'm looking at it, it will keep the recipe up. It won't like go black. So if I'm like looking over here or looking away from the camera, that's why. Because I'm trying to put my eyes over here so it won't close. My phone won't close up, and then I have to like stop and take my gloves off and put the code in and all that. So anyway, just taking off all of those little stringies. These little strings make bananas taste bitter to me. Like anytime, even when I'm actually eating a banana, like a fresh one, I always take the strings off. So I don't see no reason why not to do it now when I'm making bread, because I feel like it's the same thing. It will still make it that bitter taste. So boom, that's 3 large bananas, overripe. That I have to mash up. So the recipe calls for a cup of mushed bananas, which is 3 large bananas. So this is my bowl with my bananas in. I'm just going to take a spoon and just mush them. It's not going to take a lot of effort, obviously, because they're already really mushy. Okay. I got my measuring cups and everything. Some of the steps of this recipe I did before I started the video because I wanted to make it a little quicker and a little more like convenient for me to be able to like do the whole thing on camera. So y'all know Chef Charlie is like, well, you know, I don't really bake a lot. Like I can bake, but I don't bake a lot. But you know, I don't like to waste stuff. So if that means I have to bake, so I won't have to, you know, throw these nanas away, that's what I'm gonna have to do. So I just mush them up. I'm gonna leave chunks in there because I kind of want to see a few chunks throughout the bread. I feel like that would be a nice surprise. Not just mush, 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 mush. So I'm gonna stop right there. That's what it looks like. Okay, so a cup of mushed bananas. Let's make sure that's the top of the recipe. Okay. So, so I'm replacing honey because look, y'all, this is how much honey I have left. So I have to replace the honey with this organic light brown sugar. Okay, I had that. I had some of that, so I'm gonna replace the honey with that. The nuts I'm gonna use are pecans. So I got them in my bag right here. I got whole pecans. Anybody who've ever bought pecans, y'all know pecans are really, really, really expensive. So I started out buying the ones that were already cracked and, you know, chopped up or whatever, and it was almost $15. So I had to buy the whole ones, and I was like, listen, I know how to chop up pecans. So I'm gonna these are whole, these are like halves, pecan halves. So I'm just gonna roll over it a few times with my wine bottle and break it up. Okay, because ain't nobody got time for $15 pecans. I just don't got time for that. Okay, so, and this is made with whole wheat flour, and it calls for a third cup of vegetable oil, but this recipe says you can substitute that vegetable oil with applesauce. I don't have applesauce, so I'm going to substitute it with sour cream. Okay, I'm still going to add oil, but just not as much. So boom, here we go. Okay, so boom. Oh, and I got vanilla extract. Yeah, I need vanilla extract. Oh, yeah. I had to buy some vanilla extract today from the store. So, boom, got my vanilla extract. All right. So, I'm ready to go. So, let's stroll up. Let's stroll up. I was trying to make it to where I didn't have to pick up the phone, but all right, so let's go down to the directions. Preheat oven to 325. I already did that. In a large bowl, beat oil and honey together. Add eggs. So this calls for 2 eggs. Mix well. So, as I mentioned, I'm replacing the honey with the brown sugar. How much honey does it call for? A half a cup. So I'm gonna put a half a cup of brown sugar in here and oil. So because I am replacing the oil with sour cream, sorry y'all, I misplaced my measuring cups. Oh, I put them back. Okay. So since I'm replacing the oh man, since I'm replacing the oil with sour cream, I will be mixing the sugar. So these are really both of my replacements. I will be mixing the sugar with the sour cream. Okay. So here we go. That's a half a cup of raw organic brown sugar. Boom. In. Alright. And then it's a third cup of oil. So I will be replacing that third cup of oil with sour cream. Third cup sour cream. Take my banana musher and spoon my sour cream into my, I should actually probably use this thing so I can get all the sour cream out. Yes, there we go. Because I took the other container of sour cream out, since this is like the end of this container, just in case I was going to have to use more. But see, if I use my spatula, I can use all the sour cream in here. And I may or may not have to open the other sour cream. The brand new one. I bought that one today, just in case I didn't have enough for this recipe. Let's see. Yeah, I think this is gonna be good, y'all. But anyway, how y'all doing? It's Thursday night. I'm just randomly making some banana bread. I realized that I didn't post a video last Sunday, I mean, so still wanted to do something. Yay. So to me, this looks like plenty of sour cream. Plus, I'm still adding a small amount of oil anyway, so it's gonna work out. It's gonna work out perfectly. All right. So I feel satisfied with the amount of sour cream that this container rendered. So I'm not going to add any more. Alright. Sour cream is also like, it's a tenderizer. A lot of people use it like buttermilk in baking. So I just don't see sour cream being problematic at all in this recipe. If it is, I'll let y'all know if it is. Alright. But I'm always going to try to find a way to do something to not follow the recipe, right, y'all? Because that's how I am. Y'all should know that by now. Alright. Y'all should know that by now. Alright, so I'm going to take my, third cup of sour cream, mix it in with the brown sugar. Gotta put my face in front of the phone so it won't go black. Alright, and this is supposed to, I have a loaf pan, but I don't know if it's 9 by 5. It might be a little smaller than that, but if I have extra left over of this batter, I'm just gonna if I have extra left over of the batter, I'm just gonna pour it into another pan. Alright, right, so it says in a large bowl, beat oil and honey. So for me, that will be beating the sugar and sour cream. And this is my I need to put some more in this bottle, but this is my olive oil and coconut mixture of oil. So I'm just gonna give it a little swirl around there, just a small amount of oil, just in case I didn't have enough sour cream. Okay. So boom. Okay. Next up, add eggs. So this is what it looks like once I mix it together. Still kind of grainy looking. Okay. And the brown sugar. Add eggs and mix well. Stir in bananas and vanilla. Okay. First eggs. These are jumbo eggs. They were on sale. Okay. They were on sale for like less than $2 for a dozen of jumbo. So, you know, I picked it right on up. You know what I'm saying? This is already a 16-minute video. I gotta hurry up, y'all. All right. And it says I do not have a mixer, y'all, so I'm doing all this by hand. I don't have a electric mixer because I don't bake, so I don't really see a need for it until I need it. So, but hey, listen, before those electronic mixers came out, what y'all think the old ladies did? They mixed that thing with a spoon. They mixed it with a whisk. Like, they didn't play around. So the next step is stir in bananas and vanilla. So boom, I'm about to put my bananas up in here. And I don't remember how much vanilla, so I gotta scroll back up and see exactly how much vanilla. Sure, it's about a tablespoon. Probably, I mean, not a tablespoon, it's probably like a teaspoon or something like that of vanilla. So boom, got all my bananas in there. Alright, oh, let me look, see how much vanilla I need. Yep, 1 teaspoon of vanilla. 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Vanilla. Oh, there they go. 1 teaspoon of vanilla. What did I just do with that vanilla? Here we go. Pure vanilla extract. Pure vanilla extract. Okay. Vanilla with a B. Vanilla extract. Brand new bottle. Okay. So that's 1 teaspoon of vanilla. All right. That's 1 teaspoon going in. Right? Mix well. Stir in flour and salt. How much salt do I need? Let's see. I'm going to put my salt in first. So I don't have to do all that. How much salt is it? Half of a teaspoon of salt. Half of a teaspoon of salt. Kosher salt. Half teaspoon. Hey, I was putting my face in front of it and it still went off. It's not working. Okay, there you go. Make it out all right. What happened to the music? Oh! Y'all, look at all that salt I just spilled. Does this thing open? I think it opens, so I can put it back in. Try to level it. Okay, half a teaspoon salt in. Will this thing open? Oh yes, it opens. Perfect. Put all this out. Okay. Boom. Okay, salt in, and then the next thing I have to add is flour. And I think the flour is well, let me put my cranberries out so I don't forget. Got some dried cranberries. I'm just gonna add that in because I think it's gonna go really good with this, even though it's not in the recipe. I just want to put it in there because I think it'll taste good. Now, what was I saying? Flour. Flour is 1 cup and 1 3/4 cup of flour, I think. Whole wheat flour. 1 3/4 cup of whole wheat flour. So, try to level it. Try to level it. That's 1 cup and 3/4 cup. Now, instead of me trying to guess what 3/4 of this cup is, I always use the 4th cup and do 3 of them. So I know for sure that I'm doing 3/4 cup. 3/4 cups. Literally 3 1/4 cups of flour. Okay. Two. Level it off. Tap, tap, tap. All right. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Stir in flour and salt. Add baking soda to hot water. Stir to mix. Then add to batter. Blend in chopped nuts. All right. So, y'all. Put my flour back. Because that's the middle one, so I had to like squeeze it in between the little one and the big one, you know. Okay, so let's mix this in. Okay, that's not as hard as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like, but it's not so bad to mix. Okay, so I got the salt, got the flour. Add baking soda to water. Okay, so y'all. Okay, now it's starting to get a little thick though. But, so listen, I had some milk and I just assumed that this banana nut bread recipe was going to have milk in it, but it doesn't. So for the baking soda part of this recipe, it tells you to stir it into hot water. But guess what I did? I was like, I'm gonna use my milk. It was 1% milk, and it was past its expiration date. But I knew I was gonna be making this bread, so I kept the milk because I'm using this to stir it. This was the teaspoon I used for the salt. I already put the baking soda in here. So the hot water is just to dissolve the, I feel like I know why they did this. The hot water is just to dissolve the baking soda, so that way it won't just get stuck in one spot, because this is a really thick batter. So the purpose of dissolving this in water first is so that way it spreads evenly throughout the batter, which is why I know it doesn't matter if it's water or milk. So I used milk. Let's hope I'm right. Okay. So the like I said, the baking soda is already in here. It's just it called for 1/4 cup of water. So this is 1/4 cup of milk with baking soda already in it. Spread it evenly over. Okay. So the milk helps add a little more moisture. So it's not too bad to mix up, y'all. It's not too bad. I thought I was going to be over here struggling, but it's not too bad at all. So let me see. I didn't see how much pecans I'm supposed to add, but I think what I want to do is, oh, actually, this recipe calls for walnuts, but I have pecans. So it's a 1/2 cup of walnuts, right? So maybe I should do, then I know that means it's too much in this bag, but that's fine. Because I could just use this. I could just eat some of these for a snack later. So just pour some out of this bag. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do 1/2 of this pecans and the other 1/2 cranberries. Oh, they're so good. So that'll be my snack for later. Okay. So these are 1/2 pecan halves. But the recipe calls for chopped nuts. So that's why I have it in this Ziploc bag. And I just flatten them all out just like that on the cutting board. And then I don't have a, again, y'all, I don't bake, so I don't have all of these baking tools. But if being a chef taught me one thing, it is improvise, okay? So y'all know I love red wine. So this is just an old empty Merlot bottle that I had in my house. And I was using a cork to put my, see those holes right there in the cork? I was using this wine bottle just sitting on the table, and I wanted to have a place to put my incense, because I burn incense a lot. So these, oh, it's actually 3 holes in there. But so I stuck the incense stick down in there, and that's where I was keeping my incense at. So naturally, it was a little bit of incense ash on the bottle itself. So let's rub it off. And just take the bottle just like you would a rolling pin and get to rolling. Breaking up those nuts. Just like so. Turn it around a couple of times. Flip it over a couple times. Beat it a couple times. Beat it up a couple times. And are these roasted or are these raw? I think these are roast. Let's see what these are. Oh, I don't think these are roasted. These are raw. It doesn't say roasted on here. It just says shelled pecans. So raw pecans, they taste like raw pecans too. Actually, they're not. They don't taste like crunchy like they were roasted. So are raw pecan halves. So I think that's good. I mean, you know. So it's a half a cup of chopped walnuts. This looks like about a half a cup to me. So I could measure it in my cup just to see if I was right, or I could just pour it right in. Which one y'all think I should do? Let's see if I was right. I like to know if I be on point or not. Let's see. It looks like I was right though. Half a cup. Yep, I was right. But yeah, look, it made a half a cup exactly. Some of my pieces didn't break. So break them up. All right. Boom, boom. I mean, which I don't mind having, you know, larger pieces. That doesn't scare me at all. But look, y'all, I was right. Half a cup of nuts. Half a cup of nuts. So, boom. Pour it in. Okay. And then I'm going to add my cranberries. This is absolutely, positively not in the recipe. But I don't care. Put it in anyway. So, should I put a third cup? I mean, a third cup of cranberries. I should put a third cup of cranberries. So that way they don't steal too much of the shine, but you can still taste the cranberries. And the nuts are still the star of the show. Where's the bananas, the star of the show? I don't know. I just know this is going to be good. That's what I do know. Okay, so boom. There we go. A third cup. A third cup of cranberries. So I'll put my cranberries and my pecans on the same side. Shove them in there. Stuff them in there together. Alright. So this is a 30-minute video. 32 minutes. So I'm going to throw that in there. Then I'm going to mix it up real quick. And I'm going to pour this in a greased pan. I'm going to bake it. This actually takes an hour to bake. So while this is baking, I'm probably going to like do some yoga or like, you know, do a little workout in the house. A little stretch or something like that. Ooh, this looks really good and it smells good too, y'all. See? So that's what it looks like. Got all the nuts and cranberries and bananas and everything in there. Looks really yummy. Smells really good. So, let me show y'all the pan I'm going to use. This is a very old pan. This is a pan my grandmother gave to my mother. And my mother gave it to me. So it's a family heirloom. It's a aluminum pan. Very thin. Oh yeah. So this is an 8.5 by 4.5 pan, and the recipe calls for, I think it's a 9 by. Let me see what the recipe calls for. I knew my pan was a little bit smaller. Yeah, it's a 9 by 5 inch. So this is almost there because mine is 8.5 by 4.5. So it's just off by a half an inch on each side. So that's fine. I think that's fine. So let's grab a little bit of. Well, I was gonna use butter, but you know what? I'm gonna use this because the butter is cold. So use a little bit of oil. And I'm going to show y'all how my grandma used to do it. How she showed me how to grease the pan. Put the oil in. And then you just take a paper towel. That is if you don't want to get your hands dirty. I mean, I'm not using a paper towel. I'm going to use a glove. If you don't want to get your hands dirty, you could just, you know, use your regular bare hands, but I don't feel like getting all that oil on my hands right now. So you just make sure the oil is in all of the corners. Grease up the pan real good. Get the edges. My grandma tell me, get these edges too, because you don't know, like if your bread bakes up over the edge of the pan, you don't want it to stick to the edge of the pan either. So when you oil your pan, you get all the corners, all the sides, all the way up the sides, and the edges of the pan. Okay, I ain't no baker, but I be listening to what my grandma says. She a baker though. She be baking some good stuff. She be making some pound cake and some stuff like that and stuff. But anyway, so make sure I get all my corners, all my edges. Love your curves and all your edges. Oh yeah. Speaking of all your imperfections, right? This pan is just like kind of dented and it's just old, but it's just real seasoned with a lot of years of experience. Okay, I think this pan is probably older than me. All right, y'all. So just saying. But look, my grandma took really good care of it. My mom did, and I'm taking really good care of it too. All right. So boom, greased pan. I'm gonna pour my batter in. I'm gonna put it in this 325 oven, and I'm gonna let y'all go because this is a long video. Use my spatula to pour it in there. Look at it, it's so cute, it's so pretty, it's so yummy, it's so, oh my goodness, it's so, oh my gosh. Okay, sorry, I got excited, y'all. So it's in there. It looks fine. It doesn't look like it's gonna bother nobody. It doesn't look like it's going to be problematic at all. It definitely doesn't smell like it's going to be problematic. Feels good. I don't know what happened to my music, y'all. I think when my phone went off the last time, the music stopped. So, boom shakalaka. There it is, y'all. All right. Boom. There it is. So let's see what happens. I wonder. No, it's on 325. It should be fine. Okay, so here we go. In the oven it goes. The reason why I stopped and was looking is because I was trying to decide if I want to move my racks, but the oven is already hot and it's been hot for a while, so I didn't want to deal with that. So let's just hope it comes out fine. All right, 38 minutes. I'm coming back through with the results. Love you guys. Chef Charlie out.